Are we actually live? Testing, testing, testing. Are we live? Comedeorology number 240 this week. Let's get my microphone adjusted here. Holy cow. Apparently, RFK cut off the item of a raccoon I'm reading here in the side panel. Okay. Let's set up the show for this week. Another episode. I'm Joey Only here in Wells, BC, as I often am with the weather and things like that for you here on this channel. I know I've not been on much the last 2 weeks. Apologies. We had no show last week, for example. I was traveling. This week I've not put out much on the channel. It hurts my bottom line when I'm not producing, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do in life, whether it's fun or not. Okay. And I didn't even know if I'd be able to make a show. Yeah, the old nervous system has been kind of up and down the last couple days, but I think I'm doing okay tonight, and it's good to spend time with my friends. That's really key. This show isn't just about making a radio show every week. It's about being with my friends as well. Okay. Now I'm almost ready to proceed with part 2. Okay, so I don't get a lot of views on this channel, but what we do have is a lot of viewers that watch a lot. So our watch time is really good on this channel, even if the viewership numbers aren't. So thank you, steady regulars, and tell a friend, because it's not easy being a weather channel in British Columbia. In fact, all our weather community that will hopefully some of them will show up tonight. It's hard anywhere. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is I'm sharing this post to a bunch of places quickly, sharing the link here because, as I say, the algorithms don't help us out too much here. And one thing we can do is have lots of interactions and things on the channel. So leave a comment. If you have a specific place you want a weather forecast for, do let us know in the comments there in the chat. And as we get going here, we will do our best to look at every place we can. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So share it around to a few places right now. Setting up the show. We got Frankie coming in 24 minutes. Okay, that's good to go. I can't share it on... I can share it on my checkmarked Facebook, my monetized one, but I can't share it on my old one because I'm in jail for a comment I said like a year ago. Again, that account's always locked up. So that's why I made a business decision to abandon it basically and start fresh. And it's been good. It's been good. Although I will admit I had a pretty egregious error in judgment on sharing news the last few days. And I don't know how much I want to say about it because I want to get to the weather here. But yeah, I mean, if I'm wrong, call me out, okay? Just saying, because I want to get it right. So when you're like, Joey, that information is wrong, message me directly. Unfortunately, today I wasn't on the internet very much, and I would have been much quicker to maybe react to people saying, hey, is that true or not? So I'm trying to spread truth, and I'm completely apologize if and when I fail you on that. And there will be times that happens. Okay, I'm just about ready to go here. So far, no one else joining us, but I think that meteorologist, well, I don't know if Mark's coming or not. I'm pretty sure Brandon will be, and Frankie certainly at 7 p.m. We'll have some of the gang here, and can't wait. Okay, in a minute here, we're going to start looking at weather maps and get right to it. I kind of want to click on it. I see 11 are watching. Great. I'll check the comments here in a minute. Let's jump into some radar scope first of all. Let's go there. That's an easy one to start with. What do we got on the map right now? Some convective squalls have been going on in the Caribou. So I did notice today that we had Well, especially yesterday, had some, or 2 days ago, had some shelf clouds. But today, even to the west, I could see some grapple squalls and things, and that looks like it's mostly fading out. This one looks kind of strong, almost strong enough to throw a lightning bolt or two. That one's pretty good. We'll take it off precipitation here and put it on velocity. Soon I will not be using precipitation at all. That's usually only something I use in the winter. I prefer the velocity scans. I get a little bit more information from that. And we can see this thunderstorm here, or what wishes it was, I should say. It's a little bit far out on the radar contact as well. So it may be a little bit more interesting and beefy than what you get at this elevation the radar hits it at. But we can see it's got a pretty good cloud top in there. It's chucking something. It's chucking something in there. And a little green spot in there. So there's, I don't know if that's rotation, but certainly very unsettled. Certainly very unsettled in there. Had a couple near wells there. Looks like most of the ones in the West Caribbean have kind of faded out. We can just kind of hit play on tape here for a second and watch. You'll see there was more, but now there is less. So at the warmth, the top of the warmth of the day, these things were developing. Come on, any minute now it'll go. Takes a minute for the map to load up. It's going back like 30 images. Being slow, come on, come on, come on, you can do it. Holy cow, this is brutal. It's not doing it. There it goes. So you can see at one time this afternoon there's quite a few of these little convective squalls. They're popping up in the afternoon heat, which isn't that much of heat, I know, but it's cold above us. So when it's cold above us, even a little bit of heat at the ground is enough to sometimes make rise and make for some of this convection. So nice little squalls out there today in the Caribou. Other things that are going on right now, and maybe what I'll do is I'll switch our map basically over to our multi-radar. What that does is just combines all radars everywhere. And what that's great for, although I don't find that's the best radar image, it's great for just hunting what's going on. So you can see this line of thunderstorms right down the Appalachians here. And yeah, I can see there's probably a little bit of snowfall up in Gaspésie, up in New Brunswick. Here in Northern Ontario, got a little bit of a squall going on, some snowfall, I should say. You can see Saskatchewan taking some pretty good snowfall too. Look at Brooks, Alberta even. So we'll now pick some individual radars and go have a look in. And in this case, we'll go back to the precipitation depiction because we'll get a better color on there, a little bit easier to see. Just a little bit easier to see what's happening in that radar scan here. We'll come on up over into Saskatchewan where it's snowing hard in Saskatoon right now. Snowing hard. I know Hank Vliestra took some good snow where he lives, somewhere down here, not Etonia, somewhere. Where are you, Hank? Somewhere around Unity. Where's Wilkie? It's around here somewhere. Winter, Yonker. Yes, Wilkie. There it is. It's still snowing in Wilkie. Look at that. Still snowing on Hank Vliestra. Maybe he'll show up on the show tonight and tell us. That'd be awesome. Tell us a bit more about the snow. Bruno played a cool show there. That's actually the home of Jolene Higgins, Little Miss Higgins. Blues singer. She's won Juno Awards for Best Blues Album in the past. And we sure had a party at Jolene Higgins' there way back in the day after we played the Bruno Hotel. Yeah. It was pretty funny. People came from everywhere around. Just to get to Bruno, you got to like drive down a road that looks like it's been hit by an asteroid field. And perhaps that's improved by now. Just a couple random squalls out. And here's a squall line. Maybe squalls is the wrong word to use. I'm just kind of in the habit of it because of the time of year. Right along the Manitoba border. Right by the Saskatchewan border too. We know that Northern Ontario, we saw in that big scan, has more going on. Boom, looks like some freezing rain maybe even going on in Northern Ontario. Balmerton, Uchi Lake, Slate Falls, temperature hovering around 1 degrees up there, raining down by Dryden. Dryden's pretty crazy. You drive in there and it's just like this crazy looking mill thing. It's a pretty smelly place. Kenora looks like some rainfall bands going down there in a bit of a transition near Grassy Narrows, and a few lightning strikes out by White Dog in Northern Ontario tonight. Where else do we want to go? How about we'll turn this off here. And we'll have a look at what storms are going on out there. People are walking by my house. And then for this one, we'll turn precipitation depiction off because now we're going to be looking for velocity scans. That will tell us how meaty these severe thunderstorms are going on. It's thunderstorm in Vermont near Newberry. Some lightning hitting around Newberry, down south of Woodsville, up north of Haverhill. And we got a little bit green blotch in there. A little bit of anger in this section of the storm, it looks like to me. A little bit of anger in there. And more thunderstorms on down the line. Wow, look at all these. That one's a pretty good radar. It's poking out a long ways. And that thunderstorm line, as we saw, goes right down the Appalachians. There's Albany, New York, right? So that's coming down the New York side. So right down the front side. Lots of thunderstorms down there right now. In that line, how lucky. I wish I was seeing that right now. You got anything over here? Yeah, there's that line again showing up on KCCX, State College, Pennsylvania radar. We'll go down to KRLX. There's the line again showing up. Good scan right there from KFCX. Ooh, KMRX. The line continues there. We'll just turn off that so we can see the names of places. That's down Knoxville, Tennessee, Maryville, Johnson City. Right down through them Appalachian Mountains, Roanoke, Murfreesboro. Love that name, love that name. We'll just check. Where's the severe storm warning there for New York there? Kind of out in the middle of nowhere. Is New Hampshire too. Severe thunderstorm there. That's the one we were already looking at. So it's the same one as the Vermont one. It's just a different zone reporting. And Missouri, got this guy going on. Ooh, a little splotch in there. A little bit of anger in Missouri. Missouri. Okay, that's enough radar scope for a second. Let's go look at something else. Tell you what's coming. Let's tell you what's coming. On the old, just about set up for you here. This one is one of my favorite maps. There's some model that comes from University of Carolina. I love these ones. These are brain funky. So what we have right here is this low. It's kind of come through BC and it's sitting in Alberta, Saskatchewan, Montana right now. It's sort of in here today and it's blasting its way across and we're going to hit play. And you saw the snow that it's doing on the north side of it, right? So on the upper side of it, there's a bunch of snow going on through Saskatchewan as we saw into Saskatoon, places like that. We'll hit play, watch her go. Boom, here goes that low. Now look at this big thunderstorm line. That's coming down the ridge for Friday and Saturday. There's going to be an outbreak of severe thunderstorms down here with some really dangerous potential. Look at this jet stream. It's just whack. It's picking up moisture from down south. It's combining here. It's got like a split flow going on. That's whack. So something's going to happen down this line for severe weather as it comes across. Several rounds of her. Boom, look at that. Now here's another interesting one that I'm not used to. So BC is going to get kind of clearish for a few days, it seems like. Here comes Karen Richards. BC is going to get some, have some improvement, kind of, okay, for the next bunch of days. But we got this, this weird storm is just broken off the jet stream. The jet stream here, what we've been watching, this is where, generally where the airplanes fly, or higher. Jet stream, 17,000 feet, maybe 20,000 feet, depending on the day. It's sort of up there, right? So this is the jet stream, and that's that main. So if you're flying from Northwest Territories at this time down to Winnipeg, you're going to be like, whee, you're going to have a good tailwind, you're going to have a good flight. If you're flying opposite direction, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. So if you're flying from Toronto that day, your flight plan might be to go south of this jet stream. Take the south route. So that's why sometimes they have some deviation on where the aircraft wants to fly. Part of it's like we just don't want to fly into the headwind of the jet stream, or we want to fly with the jet behind us. Right? That makes your flight considerably faster going across the country. So look at that low that breaks off down there, hammering into California. That's going to be interesting into next week, Wednesday. That's going to be an interesting story, I think. That's probably going to be one of those flooding and flash flood kind of situations, right? So a lot of BC, though, sitting still south of this jet stream. So we're kind of like in a bit of a dry bubble, I'm going to suppose, for much of the next week. Maybe not completely, and maybe not for the north necessarily. So watch this one go right to the end of our loop here. We'll stop right by the end of the loop, and you can see now that low is broken off, and we should be seeing, if this pans out sort of like this, what this would indicate is like a pretty good severe outbreak, like 8 days from now. 8 days, come on, I know. Are you there, Karen?
I am here. Can you hear me this time?
I can hear you. Hey,
Yay!
how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, we won't talk about me today.
No, we won't talk about you today. Did you see that Hilding was at my place the other day?
No, I did not see that. I've kind of
Yeah,
missed a lot this last 2 weeks in terms of
yeah.
just.
So Hilding came over and I made him some dinner or fed him some dinner and he sang me a whole bunch of songs.
Right
It was
on.
awesome. It was so nice.
I always like my holding visits. Yeah, had
Yeah,
many
it
over the
was
years.
totally amazing. It was so fun.
We first came buddies through like partly through the music scene, partly through cowboy scene, and just been buddies ever since. So yeah,
Yeah,
good.
no, it was awesome to meet him in person and all of my bucket lists. I'm going to meet everyone from the show.
He's such an odd duck, eh? But we all are. Love him. I like characters. That's the thing about me is like people who are just plain or like this is the way things are, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or maybe they're like 1 + 1 = 7. Maybe they're like completely opposite. Maybe they're way off the charts. But it's like, man, I don't know. The
No,
really
love him. I have a few videos because I like killed him. Did you bring your guitar? And he's like, I did. I'm like, awesome. Pull that sucker out.
always a yeah, 25 to 40 centimeters sitting around Brandon's house, just north of him. Actually, the orange warning has changed. So like I refreshed the page and it moved over here. That's good. That's why we refresh the page before we start talking about what's going on. But yeah, look at that snowfall warning. That is just hammering up there in northern Alberta. Well, not northern, but closer to the 16 corridor, just south of it. Down here by Brooks there, just east of Brooks, 25 centimeters max, maybe 15. We know Hank's been getting some solid snow today. It should ease west to east Thursday evening. Travel will be challenging.
Snow is always solid. I just want to point out.
That's debatable how solid but yeah, it's solid-ish. Solid-ish. Hey, Mark Engles.
Good evening.
Mark, are
Freezing.
you on the ship still?
I am, in fact, on the ship.
Oh, you're on a ship? What have I missed this week?
You've missed
I'm
a
on
lot, Joey. Mark's on a ship.
I'm on a cruise. I'm at 20 degrees, 36 minutes north,
Oh, yeah.
73 degrees, 50 minutes west.
Ah, yeah, that's way down there.
That's right.
Way down there. That's cool. Cruising, eh?
That's right.
Hey.
No,
Well, you're a long ways from winter storm weather, that's for sure.
I would hope so.
15 to 25 centimeters up there and freezing rain. Changing to freezing rain Friday afternoon, ending Friday night or early Saturday. Look at this. Northern Ontario's going to get slammed. It's good old April in Canada. People in Southern Ontario have no idea. They're like, really? Like, this is really normal. Basically. 20 to 30 centimeters up there. Imagine. So much fun. We got like 20 centimeters here in Wells on Tuesday night, overnight. It hammered too. We don't usually have snow here that's like wham, and if it is, it's like only for 2 minutes and then it snows. But this was like we are snowing. Like it was more like prairie weather. It was intense, man.
We only got a couple centimeters here. Like not bad, but it was enough that like getting up in the morning, like, what the hell is this crap?
We've
Another.
had 0 centimeters of snow here.
Yeah, well, whatever, Mark. Whatever. You're in Southern California, now you're in the Bahamas. So,
I'm not in the Bahamas.
oh, the Caribbean.
I don't think I'm in the Bahamas.
You're in the Caribbean.
Oh, well, we are almost in the Bahamas. That's true.
All right, Karen for the win on that one.
That's right.
Enhanced risk, Mark. Enhanced.
Ooh, I called this out. last week at work, and I told them to put up more balloons, and they did. So we're doing our part.
Right
I'm
on,
not
Balloon Man.
because I'm on a boat, but actually I am because I told them to put the balloons up, and they listened to me. It's so nice. Whatever I say, they do.
You're in meteorological heaven now, aren't you?
That's right.
That's great. Too bad you couldn't like release balloons from the boat. That'd be extra. That'd be some good footage.
That was commentary that we had in the office, but we
Yeah, well,
figured
I
it was a
mean,
little bit of too late notice for Royal Caribbean.
yeah, because like we don't get weather data from that place without flying a plane there,
That's
Boof.
right.
right? Poof. So like you can have your cruises paid for, man.
Yeah, I don't know how many. I don't know how many weather balloons were launched from Haiti today, but my guess is I could probably do more.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they need more enhanced risk. Holy, look at that! A little bit of Illinois and up to that place,
Wisconsin.
Minnesota, and Wisconsin. Yeah, that's right. Over down to this place here. Okay. The enhanced, they could put like just some initials on a few of them. It's like 52 states or 50 states. You got to remember them all. Enhanced risk of severe thunderstorms from Wisconsin southward into Oklahoma on Friday. They're going to be bad, I think. Friday into Friday night. Tornadoes, possibly strong. Very large hail. Swaths of damaging winds will be possible because of an upper trough that will move in the central and northern plains during the day, strengthening through Friday night as it moves into upper Missouri Valley. Continuous height falls will occur during the entire central to northern plains region where mid and upper level temperatures will be relatively cool. Low pressure will develop in Iowa and Wisconsin with a cold front extending southward into Kansas and northwest Oklahoma. See, look at all we need is like just 2 letters. That's all we needed. And we know Mike McGregor. Okay, I'll let him on.
So you guys know. So you guys know in the peanut gallery, because I'm on ship Wi-Fi, I'm not going to join the peanut gallery today. So I will not see your commentary. Sorry, everyone.
I got you covered, Mark. I got you covered.
All right.
Excellent. Good. Because I've not had time to look at comments yet. And I like to. Hey, everybody watching, however many. Welcome to the 5 of you. Thanks for being here. Strong tornado potential is evident Friday afternoon into evening from Iowa down to Wisconsin, southern to northwest Illinois. Well, convective evolution's a bit uncertain. There's good agreement in a very unstable environment with mid-level lapse rates of 8.5 cubic. There's a bunch of math there, okay, that you don't want to know. I don't even want to think about. So volatile environment for Missouri.
That's 8.5. That's 8.5 Celsius per kilometer of altitude.
Thank you.
And the normal lapse rate is like, I don't know, 5 or something. So that's a lot of lift.
It's a lot. It's going to be big.
Nerd.
It's going to be bigger than golf balls.
Well, Karen, I did go to school for this for a couple 3 years.
Yeah, he's a scientist.
I know, but still, math nerd.
That's why Mark has a high value around here.
Math was actually the hardest part.
Hi,
Hey
Mike.
guys,
Hello, Mike.
Hello, Mike.
good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Yeah, so might merge into linear mesoconvective scale system there with quarters of destructive wind and large hail after later on in the evening there. So
that'd bring a flash flood risk. That'd bring a flash flood risk too.
I would think so, eh? Yeah, or maybe there's even some pretty strong gust front on there, if you know what I'm saying. I don't know if we're talking bow, but
¿Por qué no los dos?
Yeah, it could be something to that effect. Well, Northern Ontario's got its own thing we were talking about. Look at this on Friday. Wow, 15, 25
I don't think I've ever
centimeters.
seen one of these go up to E before.
Yeah, I've seen them go to even F the one time. And it got like kind of complicated. It was like BC with like all these different things. Which was cool when they had the old version, when they had this information on the side.
Oh, they don't do that anymore?
Yeah, it's down here.
That's lame.
So I gotta like go And like now I can tell.
Oh, I haven't
So-
looked lately, but yeah, that's stupid.
But yeah, if you're an E or B, yeah, and it's just funny that it's like starts A, B, C, D, E. It's like, whereas I'd go A, B, C, D, E, right?
But here's the thing: if you're in B or E, you probably don't have internet, and there's only 3 of you.
You're like, hey, the wind's changing, eh?
Yeah, right. Oh,
Yeah.
time
Did
to
you
go on the
see-
cabin.
Environment Canada, like I don't know if you saw today, but I looked and they have a new test page. They're changing it all and they want you to evaluate it. So it's all
What?
like basically new like graphics and it's
Where's
not
this
really
test
text
page?
anymore.
My
Where's-
evaluation is it sucks until they bring back weather radio.
I'll be right back, guys.
Oh,
Just
yeah, there it
realized that all
is.
button-
What's this? Weather short? Like, where did you find it, Karen?
No,
right,
just
just
go
click-
like
just
on
click the text.
the
Click it.
regular page.
Click it.
Whoa.
Test site.
Whoa. Frankie's
isn't
here.
George.
Better.
Is it already 7? It is too. Ah, I
Oh,
see.
that's nice.
Oh, yeah, it's a little bit more.
Modern.
Yeah, a little more.
Doesn't look like it's from 04.
Yeah,
No,
a little bit less. Yeah, Windows 95.
Is
They
Winnipeg
discontinued
on that?
weather radio for this.
Yeah, that's. I'd trade. Yeah, I wouldn't make that trade. Hey, Frankie.
I'm doing great so far.
I'm doing great so far too, buddy. I'm really glad to
Where's
see
Brian
you.
and Helk tonight?
I don't know. He'll probably be along. I guess we should get started. We'll talk about this fatal avalanche incident once we get into the show.
Yeah.
I will get back to that, and we'll talk about other things too. Okay, let me hit record and we'll start, Frankie. It's
Yeah.
actually 7 on the dot right now. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Comedy Meteorology Podcast, Comedeorology Report. It's your show about how much the weather sucks. You're hearing us on multiple radio stations in Western Canada, including in Prince George, Winnipeg, Kamloops, and in Lillooet. So welcome to our show once again. We are here to take you through a bunch of the weather stories from this week and into next week and tell you about what's going on, what's worth knowing about, all that. And I'm just trying to get myself organized here quickly, as it always seems to be at the top of the show. I'm here with the whole group, though. Here with Frankie McDonald. Here with meteorologist Mark. Here, Mike is already here. We got Karen already here, and we're really stoked to have another episode for you. Let's get on with the Washboard Hank intro for you, like this.
Well, whether it's hot, whether it's cold,
Whether it's hot, Frankie's got the weather we got.
Wait a minute. Well, whether it's cold, whether it's hot, Frankie's got the weather or not.
All right. Okay. I'm having trouble here. The things have changed on Zoom again. It's like every new update, I show up to the show going, whoa, I didn't expect to see that. Okay, so as I said, I'm here with Karen Richards in Prince George. Mark Engles is on a boat out in the Caribbean somewhere. Mike's in Winnipeg. Frankie McDonald's over in Sydney, Nova Scotia. Frankie McDonald is the world's greatest weatherman. If you've never seen him before, he's got about 1 million followers everywhere on all things combined. He really is the greatest weatherman in the world, the GOAT. We love him the most. And he's here once again with us, friends, to take you through another week of Frankie McDonald world weather reports and more. Here we go, Frankie.
Frankie!
Can you yodel for us? Who has the worst weather in the world, Frankie?
Ladies and gentlemen, Frankie!
Frankie, how you doing so far?
I'm doing great so far. The worst weather in the world in Canada is snow in Saskatchewan, it's snow in Manitoba so far. And you got
Yeah.
the tornado outbreak in eastern Iowa. It's going to bring a lot of tornadoes and thunderstorms to Wisconsin and Missouri and all those places. That's a severe weather season. It's going to bring
Coming
a lot
tomorrow.
of severe thunderstorms all across central states.
That's coming tomorrow, isn't it, Frankie? on
Then it gets a
Friday,
warm
the
weather heading
17th.
Yeah, it's going to bring a lot of tornadoes in central states and things like this. And the warm weather is going to hit for Alberta next week. It's going to be summer-like temperatures in parts of southern Alberta this Tuesday, Wednesday coming up after snow. Then again, cold weather in British Columbia is going to warm up there too. And the rain's going to head towards Los Angeles next week as well. And San Francisco and all those places. And it's going to bring some dry weather in Arizona where Gary and Dino lives. And Nevada, Utah, Wyoming, Colorado, Idaho, and all those places. Then it got cold weather heading for southern Ontario, Dayton, Ohio, where Jason Marshall with Cookies live, and Montreal, where Base Guy Show lives. And it's going to bring really cold temperatures in West Virginia, and all those places. Then it got some cold weather heading towards the Gulf Coast. They got some lots of eastern Mexico. They got the showers and thunderstorms in the forecast this Sunday and Monday coming up. Then they got some cold weather heading towards Ontario. It's going to bring some snow in interior Vermont, parts of Vermont, and New Hampshire, and all those places. And rain snow mixing up around Chicoutimi, Quebec, including Alma, Quebec, and all those places. And the weather all across Central America this week is lots of rain, thunderstorms going on in Guatemala, and a little bit of rain, thunderstorms going on in Guatemala. Then it's going to turn to rain, a lot of thunderstorms in Guatemala, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Nigeria, Honduras, and Panama. And all across South America is a lot of rain going on in parts of Colombia, parts of Venezuela, Colombia, parts of Ecuador, parts of Bolivia, parts of Peru, and Amazon rainforest. It's really dry in northern Chile right now. And Amazon rainforest is lots of rain in Amazon rainforest. And Rio de Janeiro will be entering the dry season. Sao Paulo, Brazil will be entering the dry season. It's raining and thundery in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Then it got cold weather in Lucia, Argentina, Stanley Falkland Islands. And just rain and snow in the forecast. And snow up in the mid mountains in southern Chile. Rain in the coast areas of southern Chile as well. And the weather all across Europe is lots of showers going on, windy, and showers going on in Ireland, Wales, Scotland, England, and Isle of Man. And it gets a little bit of mild temperatures in London, England, and southern England. They got some colder temperatures up in Scotland as well with rain. Some milder temperatures in France and Spain with a little bit of showers and thunderstorms forecast. And Portugal's milder than normal, so is Germany. They get some cold weather in Norway, Finland, Sweden as well. In Italy, it's a little bit of showers and forecast and dry weather, and so is Bosnia, Croatia, and all those places. A lot of rain and thunderstorms going on in Turkey. This Saturday coming up. In Albania and Greece, and those places got milder temperatures. And it's dry in Morocco, Casablanca, Rabat, and all those places, including the other places called Algeria, Libya, and Egypt is drier than normal temperatures right now. Then we got some Sochi, Russia, Grozny, Russia's getting rain. And the weather across East Asia, cyclones just hit Guam and just bypassing Japan far away. And then Japan's going to get dry weather as well. And then, except for northern Japan, the Sapporo, Japan with showers and forecasts. South Korea, they got showers and forecasts. And Vladivostok, Russia got showers and forecasts, including places like in powerful snow and wind in southern Siberia and Mongolia border. And it gets a heavy snow in Mongolia as well. And a lot of they got some rain and thunderstorms in Hong Kong, including Wuhan, China, and Beijing, China, and all those places got rain and thunderstorms forecast. It's drier in Beijing, China. And Gobi Desert's drier and warmer as well. They got some rain and thunderstorms going on, a little bit of rain and thunderstorms in the Philippines right now. It's starting to get some rain and thunderstorms in Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, Laos, and all those places. A lot of rain and thunderstorms still going on in Indonesia, Singapore, Malaysia as well. And Bangladesh and Myanmar is getting really hot weather, a little bit of thunderstorms forecast. India's in the summer right now. They're getting extremely hot summer in India right now. It's so hot there. A little bit of showers, thunderstorms in Sri Lanka. Temperatures dangerously hot in India right now, including New Delhi and Mumbai, all those places. That's before
How can you live there? 42, Frankie?
It's in Pakistan, Afghanistan. It's really dry there right now. In Iran, it's really dry there right now.
Into the mid 40s in Sudan?
Yeah.
Chad? This is nuts.
Then it gets a little bit of showers and forecast in Saudi Arabia. United Arab Emirates, Oman, Yemen, Qatar is dry right now. Lebanon's lots of rain and forecast in Lebanon. And the weather all across northern Africa is Lots of rain and thunderstorms going on in Ghana and Nigeria right now. And Gabon, Congo, DR Congo, Uganda right now. It's really dry in Sahara Desert Africa right now. In Southern Africa South Africa. It's got rain and thunderstorms forecast during the fall year. Got cool temperatures aiming towards Cape Town, South Africa this Sunday and Monday coming up. Namibia is drier than normal. Angola's rain and thunderstorms forecast. So parts of Botswana, parts of Zimbabwe, Zambia, and Tanzania. Mozambique is soon entering the dry season. A little bit of rain and thunderstorms forecast. So Madagascar, Reunion, and Mauritius Islands. And Perth, Western Australia is drier than normal. They get some showers in the forecast in Perth, Western Australia. In Northern Australia, including Darwin, lots of rain and thunderstorms in the forecast. Sydney, Australia is drier than normal. So is Melbourne, Brisbane, and Canberra. They got a little bit of showers in the forecast. And Central Australia is really dry right now. And South Pacific is in New Zealand. There's a powerful wind and rainstorm in Invercargill, New Zealand, and northern South Island, New Zealand as well. And it gets some rain and wind heading towards Auckland, New Zealand, Gisborne, New Zealand, Stratford, New Zealand, Hamilton, New Zealand, New Plymouth, New Zealand, Hawke's Bay, Napier, New Zealand, Wellington, New Zealand, Nelson, Greater Melt, New Zealand, and all those places. Then it gets a heavy rain aiming it towards Dundon, Christchurch, and all those places. Because the low pressure system stubborn off the coast of North and South Island, New Zealand, North and South Island, New Zealand. Antarctica, so we get 24-hour darkness in South Pole, and up the North Pole, it's going to be 24-hour daylight.
There you go, Frankie. World's greatest weatherman there. We got a little question period for Frankie. Karen, you got any questions in the comments? Have a look there. Mark Engles has his hand up while you're looking for that. Mark.
Good evening, Frankie.
Oh.
Mark, go ahead.
Karen.
Okay. Good evening, Frankie. Would you rather take a cruise to the Caribbean where it's warm or Alaska where it's cold and rainy?
Caribbean is warm.
All right.
That means not much bugs there in the winter. There's a lot of bugs there in the summer. People go up to because not much bugs there in the winter, and more bugs in the southern hemisphere in the winter.
I almost caught a lizard yesterday.
Okay. Karen, what's in the comments right now?
Okay, so I have a couple. First one, hey Frankie, what's the weather in Denver going to be like in the next little while?
It's going to be turning really cold and snowy in Denver. And from summer-like temperatures to winter-like temperatures in Denver.
Okay, next one. Frankie, what music do you like to listen to?
All different types of music.
Like everything?
Yeah.
All right, those are the questions from the panel.
Not genre specific. Frankie just likes good music. I'm kind of like that.
And here's the disaster weather for this week.
Disaster weather for this week. Here we go. Frankie's gonna set us up here. Everybody on the radio, be careful. We don't want to blow your ears out here with some of the flood sounds.
Maybe turn down your volume a little bit on the radio there.
Yeah. Or we'll just. I think Frankie's getting good at catching them when they're loud, turning them down now. So it's been good. So we got disaster. We got a hailstorm. Saudi Arabia getting hail, Frankie?
That's quite the flood.
Flood with
muddy
ice
water
in it.
running over a road, and you can't really see the road.
Look at the size of them hailstones. Now we got a road just covered in hail. It's like the
Looks
whole.
like snow on the desert.
Look at the size of them friggin' eggs. Look at those ones. Oh no, wait, that's just decorations. And there's a big flood, and the cars are driving through it in Saudi Arabia. So they're trying to plow the water away with the front end loader. Good luck.
They might be trying to get the
But
hail
you're
off
not
the
used to
road
water.
drain it.
When you're not used to water, you don't know how it works.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin. National
Milwaukee,
Oh, yeah.
Wisconsin. People are trying to go to McDonald's, but
McDonald's.
they can't. They can't. It's a McFlood going on. There's a bus going right through her there. It says MacGyver on the side of the bus. MacGyver. More cars trying to drive through it. Just go home. Why do you need to go to McDonald's right now? That's bad weather, Frankie. What would you do if it was like that out?
They had to put the roadblocks there and things like this.
Yeah, maybe a roadblock, eh? Well, you wouldn't want to walk down that, would you, Frankie?
That's going to affect all the postal workers and things like this.
Oh yeah, it'd be hard to walk around delivering, your mail while there's snapping turtles swimming around you.
Man, snapping turtles are scary.
I know.
And the
I know.
courier trucks like FedEx, Purolator, and UPS.
Oh yeah, garbage can floating down the street.
It's like, in VC, never like worry when you jump in the water that there's a snapping turtle or a giant water snake or, even
Or an
leeches are.
alligator.
Yeah, well, I guess, I've never had that problem too much.
It's just gonna be cold.
I saw an alligator once in Texas where I was
Yeah,
swimming.
as a matter of fact, I did too.
That
So
can
we're like
affect
in
the
Texas?
courier drivers when they're delivering parcels.
We're sailing around on Lake Houston, and I'm like, hey, look, is that alligators on that little island there? And they're like, no, there's no alligators here. And then we looked it up, and it turns out that alligators swim through Lake Houston once in a while.
There's a hail in Ohio.
But we're just swimming in it every day. Okay, back to Ohio here with some hail. Got some big hailstones. That's not normal! Oh, look at them hails come down. There's hundreds of them, Frankie.
That poor bush.
You wouldn't want to be hitting the teeth with one of them hailstones.
They
Those
can
are
go
some-
like 160 kilometers an hour.
Yeah. Well, you figure, what kind of wind would it take to prop up a hailstone long enough to become a grapefruit? It has to be
Right.
over 160. What's the dynamics on that? You're the one with the good math.
I don't know.
The
I'll
updraft to
look it
lift
up.
a hailstone up the size of a grapefruit, it's got to be 160 or higher. So if it can go up that fast, it could come down that fast. That was my point.
All right, hang on.
Oh, come on,
Yep.
Mark.
160 kilometers an hour, almost on the nose there for grapefruit-sized hail.
Woo! And the guy's got
Oh.
broken windows from hail.
Yeah, that sunroof is now a hail roof.
Fine.
Yeah. Imagine getting a sunroof thinking it's a good idea.
Option for sunroof.
I had a sunroof, but I lived in Oregon.
Yeah, I guess you don't get golf balls too often. I guess that's not a golf ball, but it's close to it. It's pretty close.
Look at a Geelong, Australia.
Okay, we got Australia here with a big fire going on.
They got diesel.
Holy, what's that burning? Like a
Oh,
bunch
this
of...
was at an oil refinery or something.
That's exactly what the world needs more of. Refineries
Yeah,
burning
right.
in countries that aren't at war.
Yeah, we've already destroyed 30 to 40% of them in the Middle East.
Yeah.
What's one in Australia?
Yeah, might as well blow up ones in Canada too and blow them up everywhere. Crazy, that's some big fire. And that would be very toxic. You would not want I'm sure everybody near there is going to have cancer tomorrow.
Don't breathe this.
No, really.
Look at the Indonesia rain.
One thing I try to stress a lot is that the firefighters have high rates of cancer from being around things like that.
Like
There's
asbestos.
Indonesia.
Here we
Oh,
go,
yeah.
Frankie. Indonesia got a flood here. People are just walking through it. They don't
Urban
care.
Street.
They just walk around like it's a normal day. They got a big
Might be
statue
for
here.
there.
It's all lit. It's a really nice looking city, actually, but it's just underwater. That's the problem.
They're finishing up the rainy season.
They're finishing it up, and they're kind of hoping it finishes soon. Because look at this. It's 5 feet. It's up to the doors there. Chairs are in the water. It's in someone's house. It's pouring into a carport here, just like a little waterfall in this one. There's a door open and water's just pouring right on through here. There's some nice blue walls that look like kind of the same color as a
Look at
Super
that power
Mario Land
typhoon.
sky. Where are we, Frankie?
Typhoon.
Powerful typhoon. Where's this one?
This is north of Guam.
Ah, the Guam
Typhoon
one.
in Northern Maryland Island.
Man, that's how I always remember where typhoons are in the world, because they're near Thailand.
Aha!
That's how I remember.
Wow.
So that only leaves cyclones left, and well, that's got to be the Indian Ocean. Little game for you to remember. That's a pretty bad looking one, Frankie. That'll blow your false teeth right out.
That can blow cars in Japan.
That could make your wig come right off there. You lose your toupee in that wind. That looks pretty good. That looks like well over 120. That's 140s plus maybe even. Look at that, some of that wind. It's cranking even
Boys
palm
for
trees.
sure.
palm trees are like meant to take wind. If they're getting cranked, you know what's up. It's like that's why you don't have pine trees there. Look at this thing. It's hitting right past Guam, going right towards Saipan in this video. Saipan, of course, you might remember from the movie Wind Talkers, but also from the real historical event called World War II.
There's a fire in China.
Big fire in China, all black smoke again. You see that black smoke? That is a bad thing. You don't want to breathe in black smoke at all. You don't want to be near it. There's going to be particles coming down even. You don't want to be underneath it. You might be underneath it thinking, oh, it's not too bad here. Now in a wildfire, it's just like trees and stuff burning. And it's still hard on our lungs, but it's not near as bad as that. And that's why I don't like interface fires, and I don't even want to be a structural firefighter anymore. It's just so toxic and it's bad. Look at that. Whole buildings burning. Apartment buildings burning. Wow, look at this. It's
like
quite the fire.
This looks like
Like
it's
a
under
lot of different.
construction.
Seems like a lot of different
That's why
things.
they condemn the unsafe buildings before it catches on fire.
Yeah, see, there's like an apartment building there. There's a warehouse behind it. It's like multiple things, I think.
They speak their own Chinese language. There's a tornado in
Mandarin, maybe. Got a tornado here, Frankie. Where is it?
Iowa.
Woo! Look at this nice little
That's
roper.
a nice little nude.
I like them.
Short for noodle.
The kind I want to see. It's just
Right
like so
in the middle
clear
of
and
the
tight.
field. Nobody's house is destroyed.
So clear and tight. You know, and then I like how ropey they are when like the tornadoes really got this kind of swaying. Like, look at that. You know, the top of it is way to the
Yeah, that's really
there.
cool.
And each image, the tornado's shape is completely different. That's like looks like something out of Wizard of Oz, that one. It's got that real.
Look at the hail in Saudi Arabia.
More hail in Saudi Arabia this week. Holy cow, they're probably not used to so much hail in Saudi Arabia. Like basically there's a
I
desert.
wouldn't think so. You know,
Seems
we
like
can
there's
get a
been
lot of hail in the deserts in North America, but this is pretty far south.
They've had a lot of thunderstorm and activity the last little while, I've noticed.
Well, so the jet stream right now is actually ripping across the Sahara into Saudi Arabia, so it's funneling a ton of moisture into there.
Picking up that heat and then picking up the moisture across the water, I guess. And yeah, like I noticed, like Frankie said, flood videos on the last couple months even, now that I think about it too.
Well, the moisture would still mostly be sourced from the Atlantic, I would think.
Yeah.
Those are some big hailstones. We're looking at like...
That was almost
what is that,
baseball.
like a small apple.
Yeah. They speak Arabic. Bataki Arabi, Frankie?
There's a volcano.
I guess not.
Japan.
We got a volcano in Japan. Look at that.
Yeah. Let me launch a balloon into it.
Oh man, that looks awesome. Just the churning cloud of ash.
Yeah, this is a classic example of what you're thinking of when you're thinking of volcano.
Oh, look at right over top, man. What a cool video.
I hope they got money selling this video.
Really? That is crazy. You can see the heat. It's just rolling, eh?
Where's the Frankie videos of the week?
Frankie videos of the week time. Is everyone? Do you want to do it now or do you want to do it at the end of the show, Frankie?
Do it now.
Okay, then you have to give me a second. Any more questions for Frankie in the comments, by the way, Karen, while I look for this?
Nope, I got nothing.
We got nothing. Okay.
I got nothing. There's no more comments.
I have a question for Frankie.
Okay, Mike, what's your question?
Frankie, what's your favorite fast food restaurant?
I like them
You got
all.
this one. He likes them all.
Popeyes.
It's Frank down once again.
The best of Frankie McDonald this week.
Smooth.
Here's to introducing my fans and around the world. I will say hi to everyone in North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Oceania, even Antarctica. This is Frankie McDonald, my own TV station live in Sydney, Nova Scotia. Major storm is headed towards Auckland, New Zealand. Sunday, April 12th, 2026 is going to bring a lot of rain, very strong winds in Rotorua, New Zealand, Auckland, New Zealand. Hey everybody, it's Frankie McDonald. AI videos are kicking up the high gear on social media lately, and even more AI videos, and AI is getting more advanced all the time. So many AI videos are getting way more advanced on social media all the time. In North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Oceania, and so many people are saying Frankie McDonald videos are AI, but it's not true. Here's me waving with my fingers. I am not AI, and AI videos are kicking up the high gear, and so many times now on social media, and AI videos are kicking up the high gear on the regular television news, things like this, all over the world. AI videos are getting much higher all the time. AI videos are kicking up to super maximum gear. But my videos are not. So many AI videos that a lot of people couldn't believe the news anymore because AI videos are kicking up the high gear every social media in the world. Even in social media that don't even speak English at all. There are so many AI videos in the world, but my videos, when I do my comedy videos, weather reports, dance videos, are not AI at all. Here's me wiggling my fingers. So many AI videos are kicking up a high gear all the time. AI videos are getting much worse all the time. AI videos are getting way worse on social media, like every social media in the world. So many AI videos are kicking up the high gear in these days. There'll be so many AI videos, even more AI videos all the time. There'll be a lot more AI videos. And for the next few decades, and next few centuries, and next few millenniums, and next few 10,000 years, and even millions and millions and millions of years, AI videos are kicking up in high gear. They're building robots in different countries in the world. They're making robots now. There'll be so many robots going on in different countries in the world. So many people are saying Frank Dell videos are AI, but it's not true. And so many people are saying Frank Dell is a robot, but it's not true either. And robots are kicking up in high gear. They're manufacturing robots now in all different countries around the world. They'll be making so many robots in different countries around the world and making androids like I think it's a person, but it's not. It's an android. It's like a person thinks that they're making that these days. There'll be so many robots and making bot accounts, and so many bot accounts are kicking up the high gear on social media, and a lot of bot accounts are kicking up the high gear. So many bot accounts are kicking up the high gear. They're making robots, and so many videos are AI, and those AI videos are getting more realistic all the time. But it's not true. Here's me wagging with my fingers. My videos are real. So many AI videos are getting even more realistic, non-stop. Every social media, every news stations around the world. Hi, Joey Ollie. I'm doing great so far. Things are going great so far. This is Friday night in Sydney, Nova Scotia. I'll say hi to Joey Ollie and his friends. I'm doing really well so far. Great to help you right now. The astronauts have safely arrived back on Earth near Los Angeles, California, on the Pacific Ocean. And the astronauts are back on Earth now after going around and rotating on the moon inside the space shuttle. And the astronauts was furthest away from the Earth. And the astronauts have safely made it back to Earth near Los Angeles, California. It's going to be a little warmer in the stateside, and it's in Nova Scotia too. In British Columbia, tomorrow the cold air flights back on Wednesday all over. And Indonesia is supposed to get another earthquake anytime soon. New Zealand had a cyclone. Guam is getting a typhoon and things like this. Things are going great so far. As they say, I'll say hi to everyone in Canada, the United States, and around the world. I'm doing great so far these days. Things are going really well. I'm having a great day. And see how you doing, every one of you guys. Right now. Hi guys, I'm doing great. Things going really well. Typhoon Sinlaku's head towards Guam on Monday, April 13, 2026. Is going to bring a whole lot of rain. Winds are going to be really strong. It's going to bring damaging winds. It's going to knock up power, bring down power lines, snap a tree branches in half. It's going to snap telephone poles in half. And Guam says Typhoon Sinlaku is going to be really bad typhoon. There will be big waves crashing on beaches, shores that can damage buildings, that can cause so much flood and mudslides, landslides, and everything. Be prepared. Make sure you have your medical kits, emergency kits, flashlights, candles, crank up radio extra batteries, generators, battery out branches, lanterns, and bottled water ready as well. Stay away from beaches and don't go near the stores when the typhoon gets really bad. Get inside of your buildings so you can be safe. Be prepared. Don't walk to the flood. Don't walk to the puddles. Don't drive cars to the floods and puddles either in Guam. Be prepared. Stay dry and be safe. And don't get caught in a typhoon. Stay dry and be safe. It's time for Mark Engles' report.
It's the time for the Mark Engles report. So what happens is when I have the Frankie video and then I have the Mark Engles report right after, then I'm not prepared for Mark's intro every week because I have the Frankie video and then I got to go through all my friggin' folders. But I'm going to be a good boy this week. Look at that. Got her already. Bam. Watch. Here. It's taking me forever. I'm
Just got the fat check for pushing that.
My name, Mark Engles.
Pushing that agenda. It says here, HARP, climate change, whatever. In my bank account.
And his bank account. Well, you're out.
That's right. I could use some more heart bucks if he can swing them my way.
The Caribou might be the closest I ever get to the Caribbean.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. I am on Oasis of the Seas. That's the ship for tonight. We are at, let's see, we're at 20 degrees, 41 minutes north, 70 degrees, 0 minutes west, traveling 330 degrees at 16 knots. So if that means anything to you, then we can be
Okay, give me
friends.
it again. 20 north.
20 degrees, 41 minutes north, 74 degrees, 0 minutes west. I'm in between Cuba and the Bahamas right now in international waters. I'm sure Joey's about to share the screen, but for the radio listeners, I'm basically off the eastern edge of Cuba here to the north.
I lost your westings already. I was like trying to type it in and my screen was getting all messed up. 74.
74 even.
Nice.
That's it. So yeah, actually, it was very interesting. Our port yesterday was Falmouth, Jamaica, and Falmouth was hit by Hurricane Melissa last October. Hurricane Melissa was tied for the strongest landfalling hurricane in Atlantic history. Falmouth's on the north side of Jamaica, and it made initial landfall on the south side, but it crossed the entire island. When it made landfall on the south side of the island, the wind speeds were 185 miles an hour. So I think that's close to 300K, and that's sustained. And as we did an excursion that took us over to Montego Bay, about 30 kilometers to the west. And as we were driving around, like every building there still has visible damage. So easily half of the buildings that I could see are not in a condition that we would be living in North America. Like roofs missing and stuff like that. I've never been anywhere like that. Like I'm sure this area was happening before the hurricane, but man, it is completely devastated. I only saw 4 buildings that were completely like normal, and 2 of them were KFCs, one of them was a Wendy's, and one of them was a Scotiabank. Like, and everything else still has visible damage 6 months later. And I mean, I understand like building standards are not as high in Jamaica as they are in the US and Canada, but like it's pretty obvious that a lot of this is from the hurricane. Also, a lot of the trees, like a lot of the trees had branches that were obviously ripped off from the hurricane and stuff like that. It was crazy. We made sure to tip well while we were in Jamaica. But yeah, and then today we were originally going to stop in Haiti as part of this cruise, and today we did actually stop in Haiti. My intro video has a video of me in Haiti, but we were not allowed to get off the boat. This was just a humanitarian stop. Of course, Haiti is experiencing significant civil unrest. There's pretty much no government in Haiti. I think the Ugandan army is trying to get control, but like it's a kind of apocalyptic there right now. So we offloaded a bunch of supplies there for the Haitians that are near where this port is. Yep, there I am, right there between Matthew Town in the Bahamas and something in Cuba, off the east end of Cuba. There, we'll call it Baracoa.
Maisie?
Yeah,
Baracoa?
Maisie? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, there I am, right there in the middle of Cuba and one of the Bahama Islands. Anyway, so tomorrow's an at-sea day, and then we'll be back in Florida the day after tomorrow, whatever that is, Saturday, I guess. So yeah,
so you're westbound right now.
That's right. So we've been to Nassau in the Bahamas. We've been to Jamaica already, and now today we did the humanitarian stop in Haiti. And now we're on our way back, but we're going to take 2 days to get there. We're going 16 knots, and I'm pretty sure we've got about 500 nautical miles to go or something like that. So
still, it's a pretty good clip for a cruise ship.
I know. At one point, we were doing like 20.
Really?
This ship is huge. Like,
I'm impressed.
It's this is a big ship. We're having a blast.
I would have
we
pegged a lot of those boats at like 12 knots, 15 on a good day.
I've been on several cruises before, and it seems like 13 is kind of the benchmark, but this one is hopping like
Nice. It's
very
like a
quick.
destroyer, eh?
That's right. That's right. So yeah, the weather here has been. We've had a few showers here and there, but the only thing they've really done is produce some really really spectacular rainbows. I was hoping we were off Guantanamo Bay the other day, and I was hoping to see a water spout, and it kind of tried, but no such luck for me, unfortunately. And then there were water spouts in the Puget Sound, like in Seattle. So that's obnoxious. So that's kind
I
of the
didn't hear
story
about
here.
that.
Yeah, Ryan Vetalainen's got some videos of that one on his Facebook page. Also, speaking of Facebook pages, you can follow mine, which is Engles Weather. You like
Speaking of that,
segue?
you're listening to us on C4 88.7 FM in Prince George, CKUW 95.9 Winnipeg, CFBX and Kamloops 92.5, and CHLS 100.5 in Lillooet. Also, we're live on Joey Only Caribbean Weather Dude YouTube channel every Wednesday night. It's the 16th of April. And what else you got, Mark?
Yeah, we're on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and Castbox, though usually I get those up the day after, but I'm probably not going to do that tomorrow since I'm on a boat. So yeah, you can see there's not much going on there. There's been some thunderstorms over the Dominican Republic today. Well, there were some thunderstorms over Jamaica yesterday, but there's kind of not much going on here, which is of course what you want for cruising. In fact, I'm pretty sure we're mostly going with the wind right now. And so the apparent wind on board here is quite calm. It's really a nice situation. Yeah, it's thanks to that Bermuda high there.
Bottom side of the clock, eh?
That's right. So we'll honestly, I don't know where I'm going to be next week when I check in. Work's got me traveling quite a bit. I'm supposed to be in Barstow, California next week, but if things line up, I might be elsewhere. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, but I'm flying home. Flying home. I don't really have a home right now because I was living out of a hotel there for a while in the Bay Area. Well, now they've got me traveling so much that I'm not living out of a hotel in the Bay Area anymore. I'm living out of hotels that work's putting me up in. So
You have no home.
I mean, I don't want to sit here and be that guy that's on a cruise and say I'm homeless, but like I don't have a home address. Like, I'm probably having the best homeless life of anybody in this world. But yeah, I don't have a home address right now. My wife and daughter are living at the in-laws, and we were kind of thinking we were gonna get a place in the Bay Area, but that might be changing too. Stay tuned for all of those many things that I don't. This is not a queuing up something I know. It's a where will I be next week? Probably Barstow, but who knows?
Who knows?
That's the fun of it. That's
Good
the
for
fun
you,
of it.
Mark.
There is some fun involved, yes. But I'm gonna go to bed because it's 10:37 here, and you guys know me. I'm an early bird, so.
All right. Well, thanks for the report, Mark. Good to see you.
Have a good evening, everyone, or a good day if you are listening in the daytime.
All right, meteorologist Mark Engles. Before we move on, I did say I'd talk about this, so we'll look at this for a minute here. New fatal avalanche in British Columbia on Tuesday, the 14th of April. I think springtime is usually what people consider to be a safe time, but there's some years, and I guess the slab problem is out there still. And this is way out in the middle of nowhere, man. This is 235 kilometers to the northwest of Mackenzie. Like, this is literally out in the middle of absolutely nowhere, out in the Dominicas. So 1,750 meters. There's two people involved in the Avi, but one was killed. So it says a group of two snowmobilers triggered a slab avalanche with one subject ending on the surface and the other fully buried. The subject on the surface initiated a search but was unable to locate the buried subject. They called for help to a nearby recreational snowmobile camp via satellite messaging. A second group arrived on scene about 25 minutes later. They located and excavated the subject who did not survive. The burial was about 1.8 meters deep there. Now, this is interesting. The subject on the surface initiated a search. So I'm wondering, was there transponders maybe in some of these places up north? Do you think you're okay? You're kind of not in the, those are mountains, man. Those are mountains. We got more in the report here. So hopefully this is the last. I mean, I keep saying that. Hopefully this is the last fatal avalanche that we talk about this year. It was at the tree line, 170 meters wide, 650 meter it ran, about 50 centimeters deep, starting up high at the top there. Don't run yet, Karen. I'm going to ask a question. And that's about all we got. And there's the zone. You can see where it happened. Hopefully that's the last fatal avalanche this year, folks. Be safe out there. There's a lot of fresh snow. I mean, things look mostly good out there. Be aware. It's not all good. You don't want to be the last one this year. Hopefully that's the last one. It's too bad it happened. Karen, what's going on, Prince George?
Okay, well, today's good. Nice and sunny, warm. Yesterday and the day before, especially yesterday, snow. Oh my God, snow. Slush, sleet. It was like crazy. I had Hilding here. He was sleeping in his truck.
Classic
Down,
building.
and we just all had like freaking ice and slush like, scraping off my car. It was crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, like I say, it hammered here Tuesday night, like just over the top. Like it wanted to be a thunderstorm, but it was a snowstorm instead, and it piled up fast. It piled up really fast.
We did have thunder. We did have thunder here.
You got lucky.
It was like I said, we were sitting inside and having dinner and stuff, and we could hear the thunder outside.
Holy
that was
cow.
Crazy.
I am so jealous. So jealous there. So I got a funny one for you here. I'll set it up. Actually, Mike's here. Mike, how awful is Winnipeg today?
Oh, worse than yesterday. We had temperatures yesterday hitting like 20 to almost 20 degrees. I think the warmest that got was about near Winkler and Gretna at around 18 degrees. Today it's like -3 with the wind chill. Had a cold front go through last night. An interesting week, actually. We had a low pressure system moving in from the States tonight, bringing a chance for freezing rain, snow into Friday morning before we head into a bit warmer week. Environment Canada said they had like a statement for 15 centimeters of snow, but that changed. Now it's only going to be about 5 or 10 centimeters. But yesterday we had a thunderstorm cell actually pop up yesterday west of the Ontario border, east of Winnipeg, and it was the first recorded funnel cloud since 1980. It's unusually early for us this early in the year. I'm not sure if I can share photos of it, but Justin put some on the Weather Center of Manitoba. It stayed around for like a little while, and people said along Highway 1, there was a shelf cloud someone took a photo of in Southdale.
Really? Yeah. Funnel clouds and shelves, eh? I have missed a lot this week.
Yeah, well, I mean, next week he'll probably bring the warmth back, and I'm hoping we get another chance for thunderstorms because I'm getting tired of waiting for them to start.
It'll be a little while here yet in Wells, although we get the consistent May, they're like popcorns. They kind of throw a few bolts here and there, a few bolt chuckers. But we get into these consistent patterns, these convective, like even when I looked out an hour ago, there was like a big stack of convection going on out there. Cloud was just reaching up, It's like that time of year in the mountains where that is happening. So check this out. Pranksters suspend the car shell on a rock face above British Columbia Highway. If you've ever been through Squamish, you know the big rock in Squamish all the climbers like to climb. And these engineering students have put this Volkswagen Beetle up on a precarious place.
Down a rock climbing area in Swamp.
I don't think I put the audio on, did I? Let's see what this report says. I think this is worth it. Share sound. There we go. This time we're okay. This should be worth watching.
Squamish is closed due to a public safety threat, and the reason is because a vehicle has been suspended on the rock face above Highway 99.
And that hook is not even fully engaged.
Hollowed out and hanging nearly 15 meters high.
Look at this
Pranks
thing.
are great, nuisances are not.
Two longtime Squamish climbers wanted a closer look.
This is supported by just the one line right now. This line is not doing anything.
PC Parks is now working on a plan to remove it and
These
exploring
engineering
the cost.
students could do better, I think.
Especially if there were high winds, which of course Squamish is famous for, that it could easily blow it around, and once it starts bumping around, it could be a different game entirely.
Yeah,
I really love
think they got
climbing
a
on the
point.
papoose, and unfortunately I can't right now.
A person who calls themselves the spokesperson of the UBC engineering spirit claims the Volkswagen Beetle is a continuation of the long-standing tradition of UBC engineers.
And I think you have a lot of very bright people that want to prove that they are smart enough to do something like this.
And that
It's pretty good.
looks like pretty janky.
The UBC
Yeah, it's
Engineering
pretty janky.
Undergraduate Society denies any involvement. The school denies any liability. Squamish Nation chairperson Wilson Williams says the prank is extremely disrespectful and it was done at a sacred site.
Yeah, from a distance it looks like a complete car that looks quite secure, but when I see this, I realize how dangerous it could be.
Yeah.
He works at a nearby campsite and saw
Pretty
two
sketchy.
people hiking out of the area on Sunday night.
And I did see a couple of guys coming out of the trailhead with some climbing gear, which I thought was a bit unusual for the time of day and also the type of day that it was.
This community says the joke is over and wants it cleaned up.
Joke is over.
We're very lucky to have the access to climbing that we do here in Squamish.
I doubt that there's any climber that approves of it.
Police are still investigating and asking for the public's help as they
That's
have
a nice
had no
looking cable,
leads
though.
yet. The Ministry of Environment is working on a plan to remove the car, but says it's imperative that people stay out of the area as it could cause serious harm if it falls. Alana Kelly, CBC News.
Okay, so there you go. Authorities in BC urge people to stay away from the rock face there. They're working to remove the beetle. Yeah, it does look kind of janky, eh? Look kind of janky. I mean, they're supposed to be engineering students. Like, okay, if you're going to do a good engineering prank,
Curious.
if you're engineer students, I mean, getting it up there is one feat of engineering, but then to make it solid.
Stable.
Like if they put it solid up there in a way that you get up there and you're like, wow, this thing ain't moving. Maybe it would just stay there forever and it'd be like part of the rock face and people would love it. But instead it's kind of like on some janky ropes and like he says, could get blown around in the wind. He does make a point. Like I thought it was awesome until I saw that. So don't do that.
It's a pretty interesting prank that someone would be able to pull.
Well, these engineering students do this kind of stuff. For example,
Every year.
he said, so these kids were bad engineers. They had a beetle and it fell from the Ironworkers Memorial Bridge. And Vancouver police arrested 5 students in a failed attempt to suspend it from the span. And I don't think they arrested them because they failed. I think they arrested them because they did it. But yeah, he's saying it's a sacred place. I guess that's true. You don't want to put Volkswagen Beetles in sacred places. So that's that.
This thing doesn't have wheels.
That's that this week. Crazy Volkswagen story there out there. Now we got the world's oldest gorilla is living in captivity, and it celebrated its birthday today. The other day.
Oh, gorillas.
It's his 69th birthday, Fatu. He's 69 years old, and they gave him a big basket full of vegetables and lettuce and onions and things, and it says 69 on it, and she's just looking at it longingly in the photo. The world's oldest gorilla. 69. Sugar isn't healthy for aging primates, so they don't get any cake. You can imagine he was born in 1959. No, arrived in West Berlin from 1959. A lowland gorilla. She's believed to be 2 years old at the time, so maybe born in the same year as my mom. Gorillas can live for 35 to 40 years and longer in captivity. See, not all things about captivity are bad. Think of the long life she got to have. Nah, I'm sure she'd prefer to be out in the wild. Yeah. So that's the story of Fatu. Now, speaking of old,
at least she's not fat.
At least speaking of old, Jonathan is the world's oldest tortoise, and is expected to be about 193 years of age. He's still kicking on the island of St. Helena. There's been rumors that the oldest tortoise in the world wasn't alive, but no. The death has been exaggerated greatly. Jonathan, believed to be 193, is still kicking on the island of St. Helena. It was a hoax, Ann Dillon, head of communications on the island, told the Associated Press on Thursday. I don't have all the details. I can assure you, though, he's very much alive. News of the tortoise's demise spread rapidly across social media on April Fool's Day. Was that from some engineering students? Come on, everybody.
Probably.
He's a Seychelles giant tortoise, the oldest living land animal, and he's the oldest tortoise ever. He's believed to be about 50 years old when he was brought to St. Helena in 1882. Can you believe that? Too bad this tortoise couldn't talk. He would tell us some crazy things about the world.
I seriously thought that tortoise passed away because there was a post about it, about how a 122-year-old tortoise had passed away. Is that the same one? Born in 1882?
No, this tortoise is old, man. This tortoise was on this island with Napoleon Bonaparte. Bonaparte died there about a decade before Jonathan is believed to have taken the first steps. Okay, so like 1831 or something like that, this tortoise was born. It's a very old tortoise.
Imagine all the stories he could tell if he were had a chance to talk.
Yeah, I know.
Explaining World War.
They just tell him like very slowly. And you'd be like, hurry up. Be like, well, so. He'd be like, come on, tortoise, tell the story. Then. Anyways, that's why, Australian man becomes world's oldest grandfather, speaking of old. Okay. So Charles Smith was named the world's oldest first-time grandfather. His granddaughter Isla was born when he was 91 years old and 209 days. So he's certified by the Guinness Book of Records there. And 91 years old, 209 days there, this Australian man. He was Smith, who was 55, so is... okay, so you get the idea. His kid was 55 years old and had a kid. So that gets him in the Guinness Book of World Records. And some of these records are pretty weak. Pretty weak. Yeah, there's a $100,000 winning lottery ticket that sat in a box for 5 months. So a Michigan man, he won $100,000, but it took him 5 months to realize he discovered his ticket and like checked it out, and like $500,000. Whoa! Imagine that. There's a lot of old stories today. Maine resident has a pet chicken, and it's been officially named the oldest chicken, 15 years and 100 days old. So and I'll just tell you, like, I'm not going to show you, but Gertie the chicken looks like crap, folks. So, you got a chicken that's that old.
Interesting stories, Joey.
Looks pretty rough. It's a pretty rough looking chicken. I'll tell you that. So, yeah, some of the odd news there in the world. There's much. There was
a story I shared around Easter about how a guy stole 400 tons of chocolate, Kit Kat chocolates, between the distribution factory and the warehouse.
They got this zebra, and the zebra keeps breaking free. So like they keep capturing it in California, and then the zebra keeps breaking free. Here he is, the zebra. He's like getting pretty good. They're real feral, these things. That's the thing about zebras. Like, they're very feral. You can't break one and ride it. They're just always going to be a zebra. Like, you think, oh, it looks kind of like a horse. Maybe I could get on it.
He looks like he's going to go in. Oh, this one is open.
You definitely cannot get on a zebra. It will not do what you want. Otherwise, we'd have zebra horses. It would have become a thing. So this friggin' zebra keeps breaking free and getting on the loose there in California. If you're in California and see a zebra, call these people. It's probably theirs.
Anna, get ready to slam that
So
door.
what is he doing exactly?
Just being a zebra now. They're capturing him. They're trying to. They got him in a truck there. There you go. They got the zebra. That's his name is Zeus. He escaped for a second time in just 4 days. He's a legally owned zebra. And California Highway Patrol Auburn office confirmed the striped equine was returned home after being located along a West Wise Road. So he escaped during the stormy weather. Was kept overnight there. But, poor Zeus.
Gives all meaning to the word Zeus, the lightning god. He escaped during stormy weather.
I guess. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Just some of the weird things in the world, Frankie McDonald. You missed them. There was all such weird stuff I was talking about.
Lightning and things like this, and thunder and hail.
No, I was talking about zebras. And talking about the world's oldest tortoise. Things like that. And gorillas. We had an old gorilla, too. It was 69 years old.
Yes.
Really old gorilla there.
I live to hear Frankie make a gorilla noise.
I also... Oh, yeah, Frankie.
And he got tomorrow night Bass Guy show.
Yeah, what's going on with Bass Guy these days?
He's doing great so far. It's the van probably going Bass Guy show tomorrow night.
Oh, okay. You're going to be Vampire Frankie?
That's Halloween.
Okay. So there is this other one last weird story I noticed on the Weather Network. That's the first time I've been on the Weather Network website in like 2 years, I swear. But I needed to look this up because I saw the image and I shared it, but I hadn't actually read. So flesh-eating screwworm.
Oh, gross.
Near the U.S. border.
Gross.
A screwworm, friends. I'd never heard of a screwworm before. So it's been in Texas, luckily, not the Canadian border. It's like way down there. It'll take a while for the screwworms to get this far north, probably. Screwworm? Never even heard of it.
Is really busy tonight.
Yeah, he got hockey games and stuff he's doing? What's he doing? I knew he wasn't going to be on. He kind of made that clear. The New World Screwworm is not
and tomorrow's your birthday.
It is. Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear host of the Meteorological Weather Report, Joey Ollie. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, Frankie. Yeah. Yeah. 47. It's coming. Yeah. Tomorrow. The New World Screwworm is not a distant problem. It's a high-stakes situation for ranchers and livestock and food supply. Oh boy, yeah, the screwworm. Yeah,
Does that mean that could end up in our food?
Be wary of the screwworm. I think it'd be better to eat one than have one eat you. That'd be my preference.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's bad, man. Screwworms.
At least I don't have to live in Texas at least I don't have to worry about living in Texas.
It's like something out of a friggin' Star Trek movie. Okay, Frankie.
If you want to follow me on social media, my blue sky is at Frankie McD. My link tree is Frankie McDonald. And my threads is at Frankie McD984. My X forming Twitter is at Frankie McD. And my Reddit is FrankDo984. My Facebook is Frankie McDonald. My Instagram is Frankie McD984. My TikTok is FrankDo984. My Clapper is FrankDo984. My Twitch is FrankDo984. My Snapchat is Frankie ABCD1. My YouTube channel is Docs Wolves. And my LinkedIn is Frank Doll. Best luck, I'm Frank Doll. You know, it's a Meteorological Weather Report every Thursday night. 7 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Atlantic.
That's the show, I guess. Yeah, we got a couple minutes to go. Maybe I should, I should line up to take the show on out. Let's line up my birthday song. This song is called Birthday Blizzard Bus Ride Blues. I wrote it back in 2009. And, yeah, it is my birthday tomorrow. That's right, April 17th. That means
you'll be working on the outro video.
I'll be working on... Well, this is the outro video for this week, I guess, then, Frankie. Yes. So I got the share sound on. And we'll see here. Birthday Blizzard Bus Ride Blues, everybody. And it says I'm 29 in the Greyhound bus. Not anymore. Not anymore. That's the show, Frankie.
That's the show.
Wrong song.
turned 29 on a Greyhound bus, driving in the northern night. My eyes were closed and it was dark outside, for I was never seen other light. Traveling all around on a passenger bus is the story of my sorry life. Turned 29 on a Greyhound bus, I never knew the hour or the time. It was 3 in the morning when we crossed the line up over top the Great Divide. So it was falling on the April night and it was freaking cold outside. I was returning to Alberta because at the time it had been spring back up there for a month. I left the west coast because I hate the rain when the record-setting blizzard come up. There's a storm in my soul and an empty hole. The winds are blowing and the weather's cold, and I got no home. Through the north I roam, singing folk songs and terrible poems. I turned 29 on a Greyhound bus, driving in the northern night. Turned 29 on a Greyhound ship, I never knew the hour or the time. When I got home to Netton in the afternoon, that blizzard, it was piling high. So Lance 3, he went off to Mexico, and Timmy Oss was playing all night. The winds are blowing and the bar was empty when everybody stayed home inside. 'Twas the big bad blizzard 2008, but the prairie farmers call it alright. Then hear the moisture, you see. Oh, I, here's a birthday guy traveling on a bus in the northern night. And why is there a blizzard on April day? I guess Alberta kinda works that way. I turned 29 on a Greyhound bus, driving in the northern night. Turned 29 on a Greyhound ship, I never knew the hour or the time. What time was it, Jeff?
Recording stop. Okay.
And tomorrow night's Space Guy Show.
Tomorrow night's the Base Guy Show. Say hi to Jack for me, Frank.
Yeah.
Say hi to him. Let him know. Let him know we say hi over here. Frank, he's gone.
All right.
Everybody.
Good night, Joey.
Well, good night, Mike. I guess I don't think I got anything left. Anyways, well, some models. Nah, I think we looked at quite a bit. We'll revisit British Columbia weather for the next few days because we haven't actually looked at that closely. I think that's the last thing I'm going to do here before I sign off
Is that
tonight.
okay if I leave?
You can do whatever you want. There he goes. See you, Mike. Okay, so that little bit of high pressure established in southern British Columbia. You can see the snow bands that are expected to go across the prairies there, moving into northern Ontario along this low that's kind of broken on in. And like a good Colorado low going on there. And that's going to be the thunderstorm maker tomorrow. That thing is going to turn dangerous, quite potentially deadly. So things getting clearer in BC. And watch this line break off from Iowa right down to Oklahoma. And I think some of these areas, Wisconsin, Iowa, we're looking at high risk of something happening there. Golf balls and hails and you name it. Snowfall across northern Ontario, right? Moving through the day Friday into down across Great Lakes here. Rain across the Great Lakes, I should say. A little bit of freezing rain in the differential there. And on that contact, and then further north, you got the heaviest snow band moving up towards James Bay, up towards the Hudson Bay. And look at that thunderstorm line, just cranking with secondary low down below it, helping to anchor it. And there goes that whole line right off to the races. And it's still present on Saturday, although I think the most destructive events are expected on Friday. And you can see that heavy band of rain right through Quebec, right through Ontario. Pretty foggy in parts of Ontario right now leading up to this. A bit of lightning in New York State tomorrow. And that's still that snow across the north. Well, BC looking kind of quiet. Actually, I mean, Prince George looking nice in the afternoon. Williams Lake up to 16 degrees. We'll just go 1 hour. No, that's not 1 hour. We'll go 1,500 hours. There you go. So 3 o'clock, I find that's a good time of day right now to get our maximum temperatures. Cat, stop scratching that. Hey. Sorry. And he's got his own thing he can scratch, not my door frame. Fort St. John at 14, Fort Nelson 12, Prince George 14, Williams Lake 16, Kelowna 17 on Saturday. Nice weekend. And like when I was looking at this earlier, and I saw this. I was like, oh no, well, here it comes. But it doesn't. See, look it. I'm like, oh no, here it comes. Here it comes. And so I got like an icon right in front of my play button that I can't seem to move. The draw icon for Zoom. Like, oh no, here it comes. But no, it's going to slide right down. Watch. There she goes. And so like BC kind of misses out on this low. And this is the one I was talking about at the beginning of the show. It's going to hang around off the Oregon, California coast for a while. And when it does that, we're going to kind of stay in this little bit of a high pressure bubble in BC. You can see right across Northwest Territories got a storm moving on through there. There's our other, we're saying goodbye to this guy finally by the time we hit Sunday afternoon. Moving, its tail is moving down through the Maritimes, but you can see the low itself's anchored up there towards Greenland. And now this series of California lows, you can see that kind of upper level low there. It's not strong, but it's sending. There she goes. Watch into the. This is going to take a few days for it to get across, but look, now it's starting to develop on the interior side on Wednesday. Still not a lot of action in BC at that time. Kelowna 18 degrees. What, at nighttime? Holy, what's going on there? I don't think so. 18. It seems like it's saying 18. I just got to verify this. Why is it the modeling saying that? It's playing on through. 14 says still. Look at that. Very warm. So that's got to be confusing to me. Can't believe that at 2300 hours it's going to be 18. So there's got to be some kind of a mistake going on there. Look at this low as it moves across now. You can see this pulling the heat up, but look at the cold that's pulling down. So we'll get some more garbage in BC. Don't you worry. We'll have a nice few warm days. But now that low is pulling that cold down in behind it. Bummer. But look at this. Look at that line. Look at this trough. So this is where there's going to be sometime next week, all hell is going to break loose. I don't know what it's going to look like. It might look something like this. I mean, we'll go Friday out. Somewhere down there, somewhere in this this neck of the woods, there's going to be some hell breaking loose, depending on the timing and location when these thunderstorms pop off. So something to be watching for at the end of next week. How these lows look could be very different than it looks like today. So we'll give an example here. I better pause this. Give an example here. So if you go next week, Friday, it's down there, Texas, Dallas, Louisiana, Arkansas, right? A lot of activity going on there. Next week, Friday, well, if we go look at the GFS model, it's got a pretty different story, although it's still got the same low in a very different place at that time. So you look at ECMWF, it's like, well, the low is kind of further ahead, right? Look at the GFS. It's like, no, it's back here. So now your forecasting question, if you're making forecasts, is, which possibility seems more likely? I mean, that's nuts, whatever that is. What the heck? That is nuts. So we'll see about that. The GFS kind of gets out to lunch sometimes. But yeah, so two very different solutions. That's all I'm saying, right? So when you're looking at modeling, like you got to, but I like ECMWF the best on the long range. On the short range for Canada, I like the Canadian models, HRDPS. They're more detailed. But yeah, very little activity. Maybe a little bit of lightning next Tuesday in southern BC, I was noticing. There it is. So that's something we'll be watching for, I think. You can see maybe Quesnel, maybe West Side there, maybe Horsefly, a few flashes. This could change by then, exactly what it looks like. But we might get some thunderstorm activity that day. But other than that, like a lot of the next little while in BC, we're kind of high pressure dominated, or we got the cutoff low, basically, like as we were saying, here's this low, it's out here, and you're thinking like it's coming to BC, it's coming down the wire there on Saturday, it's slashing up against the coast. Maybe Vancouver Island will have a nasty time. And this cutoff low just kind of takes off. And why do I call it that? This is why I call it that. We're going to go over to wind now. and then we're going to go on altitude. We're going to go up. So there's 500 hectopascals. There's 300. There's a jet stream. And above, right there, you can see solid jets up there. So look what this guy is. That's why I call it a cutoff. It's like, here's the jet stream. Here's your delivery system. And it's pretty whack looking, man. You know, and that's what people don't get, is that when we talk about like the jet stream and climate change, you know, this is exactly what we're talking about. We're talking about how wonky this bugger is. Because like I've been watching the jet stream maps most of my life. You know, I'm turning 47 tomorrow, most of my life. And, you know, I'm here to tell you that they're getting wonky. They're getting wonkier every year. Like, this is a really wonky jet stream. So there used to be, you know, a few weeks back, we had kind of a flat jet stream for a few days. And Mark was pointing it out in one of the episodes, like, look at that next week. That's a real flatter. And yeah, I mean, it's typically kind of wavy. That's the way it oscillates. So what's happening is, as you get, sorry about the cough, you get with these lows, what happens is they're bringing temperature. They're bringing the temperature up, right? So if we go to, here's a kind of an example. So you can almost see where the jet stream is here by where the cold is, right? And look how this low is bringing the warmth up. It's kind of a bad example because it's so far up there. But if we get to next week, Friday, maybe, you get a better example. Boom, right? So it's sucking the warmth up and pulling the cold down. So like, you're like, you know, why do you get cold weather during these like supposed climate change events? You know, it's like, you know, you have to realize is more heat in the system makes stronger storms, has more evaporation, makes more water in the air, makes stronger, bigger storms. And those bigger storms, when they sink deeper, can distribute the heat around, but they can also distribute the cold around. So that the main feature, they feed off the cold. You can see how the cold is like pouring down this trough in behind. And even these temperatures in front here are like in the 20s. They're like pretty nice. And our temperatures in behind are 6 degrees and cool and crappy. That just kind of gives you an idea of like the wonkiness of how the jet stream, how it delivers our weather, right? As I've come to understand it over my years of watching. So yeah, for BC, it's kind of quiet for the next little while. We got a lot of high pressure in the forecast. Now, I don't think that's what's going to actually happen. I'm going to tell you that because we are in a bit of that mountain convective season. And things are melting, and that puts moisture in the air, and then that moisture tends to have. So, like, I still think we're going to have some convective things, maybe a few flashers here and there that aren't necessarily forecast yet, that aren't really part of a low pressure system. Just sort of these daily things that we get here in the mountains, those grapple squalls and ice pellet squalls and things like that. So, pretty quiet forecast for the next little while in BC. I mean, there is some pretty interesting stuff that happened, and I missed it. But anybody out there still? Just wondering, because I haven't checked in on the comments all night. And, holy, look at all of you. Wow. Hey, from Lacklahash, if Mark is still watching. Was I on here last week, Caribou Outlaw? Maybe I was. Yeah, I missed the week before. That's right. And Brandon did 2 weeks of bad jokes. 2 weeks of bad jokes because of that. Back in action, Comedeorology, says Campbell, man. Welcome back. Take it easy on yourself. Cool, you got together with Hilding, Shelly says to Karen. It was awesome. She says, she launched some balloons from Caribou here. Mark, yeah, come up here. Justin talking about steep lapse rates, large hail. Justin from Weather Center, Manitoba. Good evening, Helen, if you're still watching out there, Helen Chatterley. Hi, Angela. Comes from respect to your amazing channel. Thanks, Mr. Trevo. I appreciate that. And Shelly, the pic you posted was so sweet of your little, so sweet, so cool, sleeping on the ocean there. And then a bunch of night marks and things like that, and lots of chatting. Carly, who's been watching my dog there, I will send you send you the money for that now that I'm actually sitting down and not going to be doing my show in 5 minutes from now. And still here, says Shelly. So good. Nice to see a few of you out there. Wow, 19 still watching. That almost makes me feel like we should keep talking. You can always hit the super donation button if you want to, friends. I do have one more map we could look at here. And make sure you subscribe if you haven't, or hit the thumbs up. All those things help me with the algorithms, and I kind of live off that stuff. I mean, people are like, you're just trying to get clicks. I've heard people say before, and then sometimes I'm guilty of it. Maybe I was a little too guilty of it this week. You're just trying to get clicks. It's like, that's how I make money. That's how I make money. So here at low going across there and moving in towards Ontario on Friday. You can see the freezing rain line, see the blue, the snow up above it, right? Then the thunderstorm line breaking out through Iowa, Wisconsin, Illinois, right on down to Kansas, into Missouri. Here's that low off the BC coast that becomes a cutoff low. It's going to sail off down the California shoreline there. Here she goes and departs us. So right when we think we're about to get some bad weather, no, things and look at this. Look at this nice, see these nice red isobars? That means the warmth, the freezing level is departing from us for a little while at least. That'll be great. Could get some melting going on here. There, it looks like we're at Tuesday into Wednesday. Might say Wednesday there, 20, but keep in mind, this is on the international time. So it's probably still Tuesday. So I don't see the time on it, but it's not in Pacific Western Standard Time. So it says Wednesday on there, but it's not Wednesday, April 22nd, probably. I think that's still Tuesday. So that's a little bit of thunderstorms in southern interior on Tuesday. Just a little bit of nonsense trailing behind this low that went through, and a bit of a weak line of weak lows, but nothing exciting. Oops. Arg. Why did I do that? Okay, back to cutoff low. Here it goes. Back to Tuesday. Boom. There, shovels on up from down below us. Some warm weather into Alberta and into, they would take a lot of snow there today. Maybe we should go look at that before we leave too. And look at that cold down the backside. Uh-oh. I hate when that happens. And high pressure off the BC coast. High pressure. It's going to be a little while before we have anything major, I think, to talk about. I think our biggest story for the next few days in BC is going to be Tuesday's thunderstorms. It isn't much of a story. I don't think it'll be much. Look at that snowfall on the backside there through Alberta. Looking like next week Friday. So that's that storm. So you can see this is a GFS model. I think we're on here potentially because it looks like the GFS. Oh no, we're on GDPS. There you go, on Canadian model. It looks a lot like the GFS model looked like there, if you recall. Whereas the other one had our low kind of out in front by Friday. So the debate on how that looks, but I think we got a severe outbreak again. So we got a severe outbreak Friday, and then they take another week and get another one next Friday, most likely. It's weird that way, how weather sometimes works in these week-long cycles. I notice that often. And think that's weird. Hey, didn't this exact same thing happen last week Friday? Or, whatever it is, right? So like sometimes you get into like a pattern where like the weekend is the storm days. It's like, oh, we have a nice week, and then bam, the weekend gets crappy. All too often. All too easy. Hey out there, everybody. Hey out there. So yeah. Appreciate yous all. 20 watching. Wow, that's great news. That's great news. And you know what we can do too? Let's take back over to our radar for one last look before we go. And we'll start here in the Caribou, where now she's gone pretty quiet. I just got to set it up. Now that it's set up, I got to extra set it up. Oh, I'm all blurry. What did I do? Brutal. It's pretty quiet now. Still got a little bit of something going on there about by the Upper Fraser out in the mountains. That's some of those cells we were looking at earlier. So we'll hit play here and watch how through the afternoon the warmth caused some stuff to get lifted, and some like little squalls and things, like little wannabe thunderstorms. Occasionally, these will soon start throwing lightning when you get these afternoon ones. So this is why I say, like, I don't really believe that we have a week of nothing happening. It's just that we may have a week of like, convective, cells and grapple squalls and things like that. Maybe put a few lightning flashes in the mountains. Maybe Tuesday we have a little bit of a better show, you know. But this is really just like the moisture that's mostly coming from melting, getting into the air during the day. You know, the snow melting out there in different places. Water's running, water's moving right now. It's that spring. And the sun gets cooking on the ground a little bit, makes it easy for something to get up there. Observed a flash flood in Michigan. So I'd say, I don't know. The radar doesn't seem to pick up where this is very well. I don't know if they even have anything good for quality radar. Doesn't seem like it, but they got a flash flood warning there in Michigan right now. We got a fire warning in Nebraska. We'll go look at that in a second there. Life-threatening flash flood from rapid water. The Rifle River. That's an awesome name. So the water's rising on Rifle River right now. Some locations include Omer. Flooding is occurring along the Rifle River. I love that name. The Rifle River. Flash flood, it's observed. So it's happening. People see it. That's why it's being reported. Okay. Now, what do we got? Got a fire warning right there. Not much for radar coverage in that area, is there? It's like at the very, very end of it. Are you a better one? Nope. Maybe, though, we'll get back on here and then we'll get rid of that velocity and we'll go look at the satellite. We'll go look at west full disk. Summer is on fire, we're being told. Let's see if we can find on satellite. It's too dark for true color, so we're going to have to go to the short wave. That's not convincing. Go to the dirty long wave. See if it gives us a better look. No, there's not really any seeing this fire emergency. It's too clouded up over it. That's good news. That's good news. But that's probably what's pushing it is the wind ahead of that system. If you give me a second, we'll find firms on here. Hey, Shelly, thanks. Aw, I appreciate that. I do. Yeah, I don't feel happy about it, but that does certainly help me feel better. Yeah, man. I'm getting pretty close to 50 now. I haven't had a great week either. I'm not going to tell you about it. It's not been as... I mean, it's a week that kind of had to happen. So I just needed to get it over with, I guess. And for the sake of doing the right thing. Yes, I'm looking up firms right now, NASA. Firms, DAPS, EOCIDS, NASA, GOV, USA, Canada. And that fire is in Nebraska. Can we find anything on that? Again, I'm going to look where it is. Just double check on my other map here. Summer. Okay, I'm going to put you on firms with me and see if we can track down what's going on with this fire. Where is Summer, Nebraska? That's the question. Okay, we got a couple dots on here. That looks kind of like a fire. That's Burwell, though. That definitely looks fire-like. Multiple contacts. Multiple heat signatures there. But yeah, I'm not seeing it. There's a fire emergency going on, but I'm not seeing where it is, unfortunately. But I will once more look. Summer, near Oconto, Amherst, Kearney. Okay. No. Maybe it's this guy here. So I don't know. I can't find it on here, folks. Can't find it. I mean, there's Kearney. Can't find where Summer is. Oh, there it is. Okay, so that's where the fire emergency is, but I don't see any heat signatures. So this was really a waste of time. Sorry about that. But we can still read what it's saying on the radar scope. I wish I could get off. I don't want to be on satellite anymore. Perfect. Summer. What's going on? Evacuate Sumner. That's all it says. The following message is transmitted at the request of Dawson County, Nebraska. Wildfire is threatening Sumner. Evacuate west to Eddyville. So we have no idea. Like, we're not seeing the heat signatures. It must be, I'm guessing, so you're going to Eddyville. So fire's somewhere around here, probably this side. If you want to go to Eddyville, it's probably on threatening the east side. I'm guessing because we saw that there was some kind of like cloud system coming up overhead from that big low. So I'm guessing, although we're not going to see much on the radar, no. You can see some disturbance out there. Yeah, a little bit. There you go. Some snowfall and things happen out there. So got like the low is moving through. Like, we know that. We know it's like dumping snow up on the Saskatchewan side. So on the bottom side, it's probably windy. You can see it's warm. 20 degrees with fire weather. Probably windy ahead of it. If we go look at windy proper. Now, I don't know if you can see windy or not. If we're still looking at my satellites, I'll just stop it for a second. And we'll go look at reported winds in that area. Fire emergency in Sumner, Nebraska. So you can see the low is right on Nebraska about this time. Right? So yeah, probably some wind. So if we go to this windsock here, we get now some wind readings in the areas of 29s, 22s. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. Some heavier winds in northern Nebraska though. 74 up there. So you can see it's like it's windy ahead of the storm. Gusting 35. In the area of the fire, gusting 56. Gusting 35 at Thomas County. At North Platte, gusting 35 kilometers an hour. So these winds are pushing that fire activity. Pretty good. Pretty good. And temperatures reported still around 20 in the last hour. Over 20 in some places. So that kind of gives you some clues. And if we go check out our humidity, very dry. Fire weather, 16%, 14%. Nebraska, 26%. You're below 30%. Now, you're not at crossover in some of these places because we saw that 33, a little bit better. Saw that most places are about 20 degrees. Some crossover there, though, 17. It's below, the humidity is below the temperature, right? So this is some crossover values probably in some of these areas. So it's windy enough in there. And wind may be a factor for, yeah, oh no. Yeah, that fire might take a little bit of a run before something happens there. Look at that. Oof. 75 gusts. Fire's going to take a bit of a run tomorrow. Before maybe. Does any of this get to it? Not really. The thing about grass fires in Nebraska is they move fast. It's like, look out, and then they're kind of over when they're over. Like it's, and you know, there's not a lot of duff. There's not a lot of material in the ground just burning. So the fire is out. It's out. Or you know, it's very little work to do. Whereas BC, like our fires go over, and then next thing you know, next thing you know, you're like digging and digging and digging. The soil's deep, the duff is deep. You got logs everywhere. You got tree stumps. You got chunks of stuff on the ground, still smoldering, coals everywhere, right? So like I'd known when I fought fire in the Kamloops area, where it's a lot more rocky. It's a lot closer to that Nebraska effect where the fire kind of runs through. And then when we come in after, there's not a lot of work in a lot of cases. Like you can kind of move through your areas pretty quickly, I found. But then you get up to like the higher places, you get out towards barriers, say up in the hills there, you start getting to country that's more like Wells, country that's like a lot of the BC interior where when it's burning, it's, yeah, take a long time to put it out, took a lot of work to put it out. So I think that's what I got for tonight, folks. Maybe we'll make a forecast tomorrow and try to get back to normal. You know, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching my show. Appreciate it always. You know, tell a friend. Let's keep growing this channel. We're coming into fire season. We're coming into thunderstorm season. And we're going to have a lot to say soon. And also I want to just repeat that when I get things wrong, like I think I did on a story this week, it's really not my intention. And I don't think anyone hates it more than I do. I hate being wrong. You know, and I often know when I am, and I am at times, like any human, wrong about things, and I'm willing to face the consequences on that when it happens. So that's, you gotta have a big mouth. You gotta be big. Other news around here, actually, before I go, some of you might recall. Maybe I could find it on the Facebook here. No, got a happy birthday from Kenan already. Thing's gonna blow up tomorrow, I bet. That's good. Yeah. Nervous system's been a little bit up and down. So I definitely could use some of the love. So I put a video up last week. And here it is, actually. So give me a second, I'll set it up for you. I found it. So dangerous. People were upset about this video when I put it up. They're like saying all kinds of stuff. They're saying, hey, you can drive backwards up on a road in a construction zone. Like, this isn't a construction zone. So like what's going on is the mine is trying to take over wells. And it's like buying everybody's house out. They've like cut down a whole shitload of trees over there where they're going to start the new sorting concentrator mill. It's going to change this town forever. And we got drills going on all over the place, and they're putting a new bridge in up the road here. But the other thing that's going on is like they're just kind of treating the town like it's part of the mine site already. You know, so I saw this and I thought that's just too much. Okay, so here you can see the museum's over here to the right, the Wells Museum, and my house is just to the right of that. Pooley Street, the main downtown street, right? So this is right off the main downtown street, which starts at the Five Corners, which starts where this guy's doing this. So this guy's backing up all the way up and around and up this hill. I didn't get it all because I was like, is that actually happening? And then trying to get my phone out in time. But to go, this building blocks this corner completely. So you're coming up and around this corner. If you're coming down from what used to be the old hospital, you live up there, you could run into a truck just driving backwards up the friggin' road.
Backs up the entire hill. He like stops at the corner over here and backed himself up all the way around and up. Like, really? I'm walking down the road, I gotta worry about big trucks going backwards? I get why, because he can't make the turn to go up the hill here.
It's hundreds of meters.
But why is that the problem of people in Wells? Why should we be less safe because they want to do things up there? It's got nothing to do with me.
I'm going to back a truck up hundreds of meters. So like when you look at the comments here, it's like, well, here Angela's saying, all the people here supporting backwards driving. And that's what's going on. There's like 132 comments still. And you don't own Wells, bud, laughing. That's actually Bubsy, though. Like, buddy. Here's that Russell guy. I just blocked him. I can't handle him. I can't find anything weird to complain about. Oh, wait, a guy's backing up. Like, you want to live in a place where people just treat your house, your fucking downtown, like a mine site, you know? So he's going on, and, you know, that appears to be a vacuum truck. They're not going to sit, that's part of the mine. They've been doing this. So anyways, there's a lot of comments in there where people are like, you know, you're an idiot, got nothing to complain about, just looking for clicks. And then I get a phone call from the MLA. He's like, we've seen your video. That's bullshit. I'm like, thank you. And as you know, Sheldon, Claire, and I are buddies from completely opposite ends of the spectrum politically. But you know, you like a person, you like them. It's just fucking how I am. You talk to me, I'll talk to you. You know, I like all like crazy in my face about stuff or dismissive of me. You treat me like I'm equal in mentality, even if you're have different opinions. And that's why I do like Sheldon. You know, he's come to my house and sat down here and had coffee, and we've had some political debates. You know, we have very different ideas, opinions on things like Israel, for example, or First Nations rights or whatever, you know. But still, at the end of the day, Sheldon does care about the communities. He cares about the roads, the bridges, the people. And he cares about people individually. I like that about him. You know, he genuinely wants to make friends with people, and that's what he likes. He loves that. I know that about him, is that he loves this job because he loves being that people person. So Sheldon's good that way, you know, but they're calling like that can't be the way it is. And I'm like, thank you. Like, no, it can't be the way it is. Like, no, it can't be. So like, there has to be a balance between us and them. And that's what I've been fighting for. And I guess, long story short, the RCMP also saw the video and they don't seem happy about it. You know, and it's not me that they're unhappy with. Just don't get me wrong. So like, I don't know what kind of investigation is coming out of that, but you know, just, hey, if you're working in Wells, man, like, remember, this is our home, man. We live here. This is my front door. You're like driving backwards up the road from my front door. You can't do that. Be safe. Take the community's safety into account. It does bother me that they're chewing up the roads here, the mine is, when everywhere else is shut down for spring breakup. You know, like, dudes, I know you just care about the gold. This is our taxpayers put that road there that you're wrecking. My property tax. Yes, I'm allowed to have an opinion on that stuff, and it appears that people agree with the opinion. So thank you, Sheldon. Thank you, Adam. Appreciate that very much. Just one more little battle Joey's won over the years there. We beat down Scott Nelson last month. That was a good one over in Williams Lake. And I hear Scott right now is trying. I don't know if this is true. I haven't checked his page because I don't care to watch his stuff. But what people told me is he's like going around trying to help homeless people now or be helpful to them. Whether it's genuine or not, I don't know. But if that's what he's doing, and in fact, maybe you could confirm this, if Scott's actually doing nice things for homeless people, right on. Mission accomplished. We all live here together. The best of us, the worst of us. Okay? We all live here together. So, you know, instead of like fighting the people below us, being like, why do you suck so bad? Get out of our town. What you do is you look up above to the province and you say, province, we have a problem and we can't live with it. People are going nuts. People are going to do something crazy if this continues. We need some solutions here. The province could say, okay, time to build some social housing, time to put some, like, you look at Quesnel, like, yeah, honestly, people don't complain near as bad in Quesnel about the homeless situation. I mean, yeah, sure, it's right downtown, the Seasons House shelter, but like, there's amenities, there's places to go. So it kind of like keeps people like in certain areas where they have access to resources. It kind of, it's better. It's better to help people. And it's like, punch up. The province, help us, province. You're the ones. You got the ideas, the money, the infrastructure. That's who does that. Don't punch down at the people below you. Why do you suck? Say, help us with the people that are making life hard for us right now, province. You need to deliver some help. Okay. Good on you if that's true, Scott. Okay. Oh yeah, people don't like the goddamn song. It's too catchy. That was the whole point of it. I wrote that song. I was like, I need to write a song about how to write songs. so that people know how to write songs and they have songs stuck in their heads forever. And yeah, that's the old goddamn song. Thanks for everyone for coming on by tonight. Make sure you hit like, share, subscribe if you haven't, and do leave a super donation or become a channel member if you don't mind, or join the Patreon. Anything helps keep us going here. And every week we keep getting by the best we can. I think with having said all that, I've had a long week, and this is probably the best part of it. So, although my daughter is texting me right now because she's at band camp. So that's the show. We'll see you next week, everybody. Or tomorrow right here in the channel if you want. Okay. Bye for now.